Who are you? I'm Batman. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and also starting a brand new review series. And the movie review series I'm going to be starting is not a horror series, it's a comic book movie series. Well, a bunch of live action comic book films based off a certain character. Because we have a new one coming out this March, on the first week of March. So I'm decided to review all the movie portrayals of this character, well, starting from this one all the way to 2016. For the live action theatrically released stuff anyways. The animated stuff I will not be reviewing, nor the 1966 version of this character. But anyway, what I'm going to be reviewing today is for the first installment, or the first film to be released starring this character in 1989, Batman. Yep, I will be reviewing all the Batman movies. Well, most of the Batman movies anyways. Starting with this one. From the one that started it all in 1989. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, Gotham City crime boss Carl Grimson, played by Jack Palance, effectively runs the town, but there's a new crime fighter in town, Batman, played by Michael Keaton. Grimson's right-hand man is Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson, a brutal man who is not entirely sane. After falling out between the two, Grimson has Napier set up with the police, and Napier falls to his apparent death in a vat of chemicals. However, he soon reappears as the new crime boss, the Joker, and starts a reign of terror in Gotham City. Meanwhile, reporter Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, is in the city to do an article on Batman. He soon starts a relationship with Batman's everyday personal, billionaire Bruce Wayne. Yeah, the plot of this movie. So, how did this all start? So, we all know around 1978, Superman the movie was released onto the big screen and was an instant success with critics and filmgoers, and became an achievement in cinema and started a new genre in Hollywood. It got 3 sequels and only one of them was well received. When DC was in a funk, they decided to just give up on Superman films entirely until 2006, and do an adaptation of their other well-known character, Batman, and would be directed by Tim Burton. The film was just called Batman, and was released on June 23rd, 1989, to positive reviews from critics, although some baby critics felt it was too dark, even though Batman is a dark character to begin with. However, Batman fans and cinemagoers loved it. They loved that it was faithful to the dark tone of the comics, and at the box office, it made a massive profit with over $400 million worldwide on a $35 million budget, and it launched a new film franchise. So as for my thoughts on this movie, well, this movie is by far my second favorite Batman movie and my favorite of the original film series. I always adored this movie since I first saw this when I was a kid. When it comes to the Burton films, I was allowed to watch the first film, but my parents never let me watch Batman Returns. They were always like, no, Returns is the bad one. Returns is the bad one. You can't watch that one. And you're obviously going to know why in that review. But we are talking about the first film of the series, so let's get back to that. Here are all the good qualities on why this movie is a masterpiece. The good qualities are that it was the first dark comic book movie ever made, and the one which set the trend of modern dark superhero movies. Some very good expressionist sceneries that suit the rather dark nature of the comics. It features Danny Elfman's iconic musical score, which became the trademark Batman music, used in many Batman-related franchises like the Lego Batman video game series and Batman the Animated Series. Speaking of Batman the Animated Series, this movie prompted the creation of the extremely popular Batman the Animated Series, which in turn led to the formation of the DC Animated Universe and influenced its design. However, the animated Batman show I grew up watching as a kid was The Batman from 2004. Now, back to this. While Jack Nicholson's Joker is an excellent portrayal of the character due to his blend of spiritedness and insanity, the version of the character influenced the Joker of Batman the Animated Series, and this Joker is probably my third favorite Joker, behind Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix. While Heath Ledger is definitely the better Joker to me, Jack is not too bad either. Although he's not quite as scary as Heath Ledger though, he was as a child, whenever as a child and saw pictures or shots of the Joker's face, they always used to scare the shit out of me a lot. But he's really not that scary as anyone gets older, really. If you want an actually scary as fuck Batman villain that's always been a childhood nightmare, but also very well betrayed as well, just watch Penguin in Returns. That guy is way scarier than this dude. And that's in the Burton series. But even he's well betrayed as well. But back to this one. Bob Kane was hired as a creative consultant during the film production, meaning that the creator Batman himself had an important role in the making of this movie, and Kane approved the design of Gotham City, Batman's costume, Jack Nicholson's casting as a Joker, and Sam Hamm's script. And 2 cinema veterans participated in this movie, like Hammer Film Productions, legend Michael Gough as Alfred Pennyworth, and Western legend Jack Palance as mob boss Carl Grissom. And catchy songs. There's even some catchy songs by Prince, rest in peace, during the Joker scenes that helped create the weird and unsettling feeling of the Joker being both funny and spirited while still being a dangerous criminal. The Joker provides some incredibly entertaining moments also thanks to the intelligent use of the harmless-looking deadly gadgets, thus offering a good grasp of the source material, like the Joker's commercial. And let's get on with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton easily is the second best Batman ever. Michael Keaton does such a good job with his Batman due to his peculiar facial expressions that seem particularly suited for Batman's gloomy attitude. The actor also came up with the idea to perform his Batman voice at a lower register in order to differentiate him from Bruce Wayne, setting the trend for every actor who played the character after him, Christian Bale included. But even though Bale was good, Michael Keaton was still the way better Batman and could never be topped. To me, he is Batman. But all the other actors were pretty good too, save for George Clooney, who was not. The movie does also show that Batman fights and cares for justice, but he's not the only character in this movie who fights and cares for justice. There are other characters too. Commissioner Gordon, District Attorney Harvey Dent, and the 2 reporters are 2 examples of this being other characters who also do the same. The latter ones especially in the Bicentennial Festival scene. And there's awesome ending battle during the sequence of the cathedral, where Batman fights the Joker and his goons and tries to rescue his love interest. Yeah. And the movie was, not only did this movie spawn 3 sequels, this movie spawned 3 good video games. One on the TurboGrafx 16, one on the NES, and one on the Sega Genesis. Each one different from one another. So yeah, those are the good qualities. But, however, there are some bad qualities that are why this film is the second best Batman movie, but I can live past those, bad qualities. And those bad qualities to me are, the bad qualities would be Alfred letting Vicky Vale in the Batcave nonchalantly is kind of an out-of-character moment for him, even if it is functional to the movie's plot and Bruce Wayne and Batman's relationship with Vicky Vale in particular, because Batman would never really let anyone else, except for Alfred Pennyworth, in the Batcave, really. Because, in the comics, the only people he lets in the Batcave are Alfred, when Robin appears in the picture, Robin, and Batgirl. Once Batgirl also appeared in the picture in comics. The film kind of just like its sequel, doesn't flesh out Batman's backstory to the fullest, and only shows a flashback of when Bruce went to the movies with his parents, only to be ambushed by Jack Napier and Joe Chill at Crime Alley. Although, and technically they kind of get a bit of the Bruce parents dying part wrong. Like, Joker didn't, or Jack Napier didn't really have anything to do with Bruce's parents' death. It was only Joe Chill. Joe Chill was the only one character who murdered back Bruce's parents. Well. In regards to Batman, the movie seems to focus on the Joker a little more than Batman, to the point that even Jack Nicholson's name is on both the credits and the poster, before Michael Keaton's. Despite that, one of Batman's core rules in the comics is to never kill. The film's Batman doesn't seem to worry about this, not caring either when he kills some of the Joker's goons or when he ties up the Joker's leg to the gargoyle so it drags his enemy to his death hundreds of feet below. But that criticism to me, maybe it's valid to some people, but it's invalid to me because Batman has actually killed many times. Like, Bale even killed some people, and Ben Affleck killed loads more than Keaton ever did. Not to mention, Batman sometimes kills in the comics as well. So, that's kind of an invalid criticism. That one shouldn't really count. Although, it's an integral setting in the comic books, Arkham Asylum is even nowhere to be seen here, nor in its sequel, which is kind of a wasted opportunity, given that its eerie and grim atmosphere could match Tim Burton's style. But as pointed out below, what purpose the Asylum could have if Batman kills his enemies all the time here? Like, although this would be recidified in Batman Forever. However, despite those bad qualities, my recommendation is if you are a fan of Batman and are curious to see how the film's portrayals all started, I heavily recommend you watch this movie and then buy it at once and add it to your shelf because it is a masterpiece in comic book cinema from start to finish. It's also one of my favorite movies of all time. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rank this movie, here's how I'm going to rank Batman 1989. I'm going to give Batman 1989 a 10 out of 10. And there we go. We just covered the best one of the original series. And now we can talk about the sequel next, which was Batman Returns. And my score's kind of been upped a little bit because I rewatched it. And so now my score's a bit more positive on this one. But anyway, can't wait to talk about Batman Returns next. And until then, that's going to be it for this review. Thank you all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.